behind the cape. Let's talk about Jake Gyllenhaal to start this thing off. So apparently did he audition to be the Dark Knight?
So David Goyer, the writer for the Blade films, apparently pushed really hard with Christopher Nolan to try to get him to be the next Batman around the time that they were casting for the Batman Begins trilogy. Christian Bale obviously ended up winning out the job, but apparently there's test screen footage of Jake Gyllenhaal in that suit as Batman. I don't know. Jake Gyllenhaal is an awesome actor, man. I don't know if he's Batman. Most of the times when Jake Gyllenhaal is being intense, it hasn't really been all that intimidating.
There's an air of goofiness around Jake Gyllenhaal.
There is an air of goofiness around him, but also when he's trying to play like the hard ass, the mean guy. Even if there's stuff like Jarhead.
Yeah.
I couldn't completely take him seriously because, well, not that I wasn't taking him seriously. I do take him seriously, but in terms of an intimidating figure, he's much more humanizing as an actor to just be afraid of.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, with Christian Bale, he can turn off some of that humanization with the Bruce Wayne stuff, obviously, with the family trauma and shit like that, and just be a stone cold, hard ass, like, oh, shit, straighten up type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I get that feeling from Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I agree. I think if Pattinson can play Batman, then Jake Gyllenhaal could probably play Batman, but it's
I think Jake Gyllenhaal would play a better Bruce Wayne.
I would agree with that.
Than Robert Pattinson. Yep. I don't know what he would do in regards to being Batman, but
yeah, I would agree with that.
You know who? Okay, if there's a Batman comp, and this is probably counterintuitive because it's the Batman GOAT, but if there is a Batman comp for Jake Gyllenhaal, it's probably Keaton. He has the same type of boyish charm as Bruce Wayne, and then when he's in the suit, maybe you're not getting the most intimidating guy, but it's you're most likely going to get a guy who can handle himself. You're going to get a guy who you're confident in, but maybe he's just not the guy lurking in the shadows. And I don't know if Jake Gyllenhaal could have given us what Patterson gave us in that first scene of the Batman when we see it in 2021.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like he walks out of the dark at the heavy steps and he just all the judo punches and shit. Yeah, all that shit. Yeah.
I feel like Keaton is bigger than Jake Gyllenhaal.
Absolutely.
So then
no question.
That's the
he's the Batman GOAT. And that's why I say it's counterintuitive because I'm saying he's not really a great Batman, but then his Batman comp is the Batman GOAT.
Oh, okay.
So it's weird, but yes, he would much more than Clooney or Kilmer or Bale. I feel like his acting style is much closer to Michael Keaton's than any of the other guys.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would agree with that for sure. So obviously we're still going through with the writer's strike and obviously the actor's strike as well. But it would seem that some people are eager to get back to work because they are losing money during the strike. And none other than Drew Barrymore and Bill Maher, who obviously have different shows of their own which need writing, are basically being scabs.
Now, Drew Barrymore has walked that back. I don't think she's going back to work. But what's her name is? Bill Maher he's going back for sure.
Bill Maher needing money is just...
Dog, what else is Bill Maher doing?
I don't know.
What else is he doing?
I don't know.
I mean, let's be fair. Like, it's not all about Drew Barrymore or Bill Maher. There are people on these productions, right? There are other individuals working on these productions that need paychecks to keep their lives going as well. Yeah. And I don't want to totally ignore that. But, like, I don't think they're any less part of the strike than any other production is. I don't see why you should be precluded from being criticized for crossing the picket lines and going back to work than any other production in America would be. Mm-hmm. You know, you should have to face the same scrutiny if you make that decision. I understand why people may make that decision, but you should still have to face the scrutiny behind it. That's the union that you joined. It's the work that you do.
Yeah.
I think Barrymore's apparatus is a little bit more liberal than that of Bill Maher, so she probably caught a lot of heat and
and it
got a little closer than it got to Bill Maher.
I would agree.
But also, I don't think Bill Maher gives a goddamn. I don't think he gives a shit. He has found a way to be anti-people a lot over the last couple of years, so it's not at all surprising to me that he's back at work.
Daredevil.
They are actually rebooting Daredevil. So my initial reaction or my initial thought, what I thought we were getting from them, it was going to be a continuation of the Netflix stuff. It was. Yep. It's seeming now that was it Goyer again?
I think so.
Damn, David Goyer just did shoot. He's shooting shit down today. He letting everybody know everything. He's basically saying that what Disney is doing is they are going to end up soft rebooting it by giving it a new title. And by doing that, it makes sure that they don't have to pay the incumbent actors a season 2-esque salary. So I guess through the collective bargaining, they've kind of negotiated a way of increasing pay scales as the seasons go on, right? For the actors and everybody else who's under that union. Well, Disney gets around that, and it's apparently an age-old Disney thing, where they slightly rebrand the show, bring it back, but restart it at season 1. So that's what they're getting ready to do with Daredevil Born Again. If you recall, if anybody is a fan of the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody show, right? So it was the boys, the mom, Mr. Mosby in the hotel, right? All until they got to like season 4 or 5 or something like that. And they soft rebooted to like on the deck. Or like now instead of being in this hotel, we're on a cruise ship. Same actors, same writers, same director, same pay that they were getting initially on season 1 of the show that they started several seasons ago. And it's all because now they technically rebooted the series, and so now that they can pay you first season salary.
That's so crazy.
It's sick, bro. It's fucking sick. And it makes for a worse off product. We are almost positive at this point that Daredevil is shot. It's shot. If they're rebooting it for the purpose of making it theirs to make it Disney Daredevil, it's shot. Mm-hmm. The only confidence I had in this show was that they were bringing over the actor, they brought over Matthew Cox, and that they were going to continue off of what was already established. They were even talking about bringing in the Punisher, right? I want no parts of that. Maybe, I guess.
No, I mean, this says Daredevil Born Again specifically, but then it shows me 18 episodes.
I think that's what's supposed to be. That's what it's slated for. But they have names for them and everything?
They don't have the names for the episodes yet.
Okay, yeah, then that's what it's slated for. It's for 18 episodes.
But it all says 2024. So,
hey, man, we'll see. I for one, think it's shot. I think it's shot. If they're going this far as to reboot the series completely, it's shot. I think they've proven to us that they can't take these characters and work them proficiently. So now the decision is so that we don't have to pay Matthew Cox and crew an accelerated salary, because now this would technically be the 3rd season of Daredevil. Oh, well, we'll make it Disney Daredevil. We'll reboot it. We'll do our thing. It's shot. They've already showed us that they can't do that.
Yeah.
They cannot do that.
Which is shitty, but at least they have somewhat of an excuse this time. But still shitty.
Nah, I don't see it. You knew Daredevil was successful. That's why he was the only one that you brought over from the Netflix universe.
Yeah.
So why fuck with it? To save yourself some money. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Chris Evans said his biggest worry for taking on the role of Captain America was making shitty fucking movies.
Man.
I don't want to make shitty movies and be contractually obligated to make garbage.
Hey, listen. On the nose, boy. Right on the nose. And did he ever get out at the right time? Did he ever get out at the right time?
Yeah, he did.
Because could you imagine after the high that Robert Downey and Chris Evans were on at the end of Endgame, and then them signing up to be in something like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, or them signing up to be in Thor: Love and Thunder?
Oof.
Like talk about a fall from grace. I wouldn't want to be associated with that shit either.
Facts.
Because then as far as they fall after you, you get to continue to proclaim that like you were the pinnacle, you were the peak, you were as best as it could have gotten. So it really doesn't benefit you at all to mess with that after that.
Now, I'm sure some people would have been super excited to see Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. in Thor: Love and Thunder, and probably would have bumped it up a little bit in ratings, but not enough.
If it was the same movie and it just had those cameos, it wouldn't have done anything.
You don't think it would have done anything?
It wouldn't have done anything.
I think
if it was the same movie and those cameos were there, I don't think it would have moved the needle.
Oh my God, RDJ is back. Greatest movie ever.
Well, because first of all, if we're talking specifically Thor: Love and Thunder, maybe another movie, but specifically Thor: Love and Thunder, they don't fit.
Yeah,
it would have been random and it would have felt forced. Just like the first 10 minutes of the movie were, where the Guardians were there and then they were gone.
Yeah.
It's like, why? We couldn't have done a flashback of like to where they, I don't know, man. There was absolutely no reason for them to be in that movie. They don't even talk about it in Guardians 3.
At all.
No mention. James Gunn is like, what the fuck? Why are they in this movie? No, I'm not writing for that.
That's crazy. So Nia DaCosta had a quote about Kevin Feige's role in the film, which I'll let you get to. But also the budget seemed to probably be somewhere around $270, but then they got a nice little rebate for where they filmed the Marvels.
So, quote first, Nia DaCosta, one of the things that she didn't realize about Marvel films, I really think she's trolling at this point. Right? Like, she has to be trolling at this point. So, one of the things that she never realized about Marvel movies is just how damn much of it was actually Kevin's movie.
Yeah.
Meaning Kevin Feige, the executive producer. Are you trolling us now? Like, I think she is. I think she's like silently telling us truths, ironically. Like at first when she said the silly shit, I was like, she could be trolling or she could be absolutely oblivious. I don't know what's going on there.
Sure.
Like, yeah, the thing that's different about this MCU movie is that it's silly.
Yeah, both of these things seem like they were said very sarcastically.
I swear to God. This is sarcasm.
See that new Marvels movie. It's going to be so silly.
What didn't you know about this Marvel movie coming in that you know now? That Kevin Feige is basically going to be shooting the shit. That he's basically going to be on over my shoulder shooting the movie himself. I had no clue. Go figure.
Come see the new Marvels. I directed one scene, but Kevin Feige killed the rest.
Come see my new movie where I collaborated with Kevin Feige.
Yeah, it just seems like the way she's saying these things seem like they would have been a sarcastic comment, but we don't know.
I can't take it serious, man. I can't.
We don't know.
First of all, I thank her for saying it because once again, it just reaffirms what I already thought, which is we know who to blame.
Absolutely.
If I'm right, then that's exactly what she's saying. She's saying, look, however horrible y'all think this movie is, I just want to let you know that this man changed everything underneath the sun that I originally tried to do.
She is distancing herself away from this movie 3 months before it even comes out. Or a couple months, I guess, now.
Now, the budget is a little bit surprising because I would have thought after all of the financial woes that we were having recently that we would like avoid that $300 million watermark like hell. And they did, right? They got the rebate and everything like that. And even before that, they were about $20 million under that. But $280 million on the Marvels, I just don't feel like is needed. One of the hotter movies that's out in the theaters right now that's getting a lot of buzz in place of Dune not coming out. The Creator, Christopher Nolan's The Creator, with or is it Nolan? Maybe it's not Nolan, but John David Washington is in it, and that was with an $80 million budget. Like we're doing AI, we're doing space shuttles, we're doing all kind of different stuff. 80 mil. So like the visual effects and the difference in quality between that of
Gareth Edwards.
Who was it?
Gareth Edwards.
So if at $80 million, we're able to present that from The Creator, $280 million, you should be like it should blow you away visually.
Yeah.
There should be no comparison.
Yep.
And right now there are other studios doing more with less. We were just talking about Continental. Is there many things in the Disney library right now recently that are shot better than Continental?
No.
And I guarantee you they didn't spend over $150 million on that episode. On that hour and a half worth of footage, there's no way they crossed $150 million. I don't know if they crossed 100.
I would agree.
Practical shots, hand-to-hand, actual choreographed fight scenes instead of CGI horse shit.
Yep.
There's way that you can make this stuff look real, make it look nice without just throwing money at it. And that just seems to be Disney's answer to just about everything.
And it seems like from announcement to when we're actually seeing the product, they got it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
As opposed to constantly delaying and having issues with, obviously VFX and other sorts of things that they got going on in Marvel. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just think that's also pretty interesting.
For sure.
Any other thoughts on this week in movie and Disney news?
Nah, man, light in the barrel. Very, very light in the barrel. But we're still here.
Yes.
So come back is it Tuesday now?
Yeah.
Every Tuesday for Behind the Cape episode. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back next week. We should have some more to talk about.
Absolutely. And make sure that you check out our previous video where we discussed Jonathan Majors and the whole update and what's going on with that case. Make sure you check that out. And then also, like you said, make sure you subscribe. We like to do this every Tuesday, 10 o'clock in the morning.